In this video, we are going to be watching some paranormal content that I found online. It's worth knowing the name of this video is Real Scary Videos Caught on Camera That Will Keep You Up at Night. Little bit of a disclaimer to each and every one of you. If you're scared of the paranormal, then it's probably not going to be the video for you. But for those of you who want to actually learn what is happening, this video series, I'm going to find and scour the World Wide Web to find and bring each and every one of you some of the footage that mankind have captured, debunk it if I can, and I can give explanations to why it's happening in the moment. It's going to be like a fun little, a bit like the reaction videos that we do for the mediums. We're going to do a reaction video for paranormal also. I think it should be really interesting. If you do like the paranormal, let me know down in the comment section what your scariest video you've ever watched, or even your scariest encounter. Before we get into this video, I'd like to say a big massive thank you to each and every one of you who continue to support the message of Help Heal Serve. Each and every one of you can become great mediums. In here at Help Heal Serve, we can give you the very foundations to forge your own unique understanding. Not to mention we have the loving and supporting Help Heal Serve family. It's worth knowing. I'd like to say a big massive thank you to each and every one of the channel members. I can't believe how many that we've got. Don't forget we have the members Zoom classrooms coming up every Thursday. Go and check the community post and it will be there. If you are a member, you'll see the link and you'll be able to join. It's going to be every Thursday. We're going to have lovely little chats and meditations and all these different things. It will be away from YouTube, but then what we'll do is we'll then screen record the full event, and then we'll put it onto YouTube for the public to watch. It's worth knowing, right, before we come into this video, there's going to be a lot of you who find it, and there's going to be some of the things that you're about to see, and it's going to freak you the hell out. Believe me, I've experienced and seen some things from the spirit world and the realms that would probably creep a lot of you out. To me, I love it. I adore it. It's everything that I love to do. I'm passionate about it. But yes, there is a lot of you who it might scare. I'm not for 1 minute saying that the videos you're about to watch are 100% forged. I'm not here to do that. The creators who've got these footage, I don't want to hold them down or suppress them. But what I will do is I'll give my professional opinion based on my connection to the spirit world. Spirit world will actually tell us whether it was them or not during it. But we don't do these videos to name and shame. We don't do these to try and say people are up acting. No, all we're doing is we're raising awareness for the spirit world and the realms. No different to what we do on the Mediumship channel in terms of the Mediumship reaction videos. Why don't we kick straight off with this video from the best top 10. Go and subscribe to them if you do like the paranormal, because it looks like they've got a hell of a lot of paranormal stuff on their channel.
Oh no.
We've just heard there straight away a lady saying, oh no. And then what do we have in the distance? You've just, out of the corner of what we've just seen that there is, it looks like some sort of bedside cabinet, a multi-layered. Can we determine from this distance, from what we've just acknowledged there, that that was paranormal? That was pretty compelling, pretty weird. But let's not be honest. Let's be honest. Let's not be honest. Let's be honest. In this day and age, is it easy to make things look like to freeze a frame and then to reverse it? I've seen loads of mad things that have been made on apps and applications by the everyday person. And then you go on and you're like, wow, that was amazing. And then you're like, hang on a minute. Somebody in the comments has just said that was in reverse. And you're like, oh, how didn't I notice? Because we're not programmed to spot these things. Doors closing. Could that be paranormal? 100%.
This stop
Not saying it was, but it can be.
tells the story of Chilo, a woman whose life took a frightening turn after a seemingly harmless acquisition. In 2012, Chelo bought a peculiar cult pendant.
One of the things that you've got to understand is with buying items, mankind have this thing within the logic that items possess power. Problem is that's a humanistic way of thinking. When we are dealing with energy is far superior to the muggle minds of mankind. Like seriously, and I don't mean that to offend, but you've got to understand the reality of the world that you are living in. Mankind, we are not the superior ones. When it comes to energy, You have people who look at items in the materialistic that are forged by the hands of man, by the ideologies of mankind, and they look upon these items as if they hold some special power. They are the gateway to the other side. Pendants. You have many different forms, not just pendants. You've got many different ritualistic items. These items do not help you to connect to a specific energy. At best, they show your intent. Yes, they will show your intent. But it doesn't matter about the pendant. The pendant isn't starting the energy. What you'll probably find is what you're going to find from this video, right? This person who's been acting in ritualistic cult things, and she's getting this pendant. Her intent's probably already been pre-programmed to want to experience paranormal activity. And it's that intent which is making the call with the spirit world.
Supposedly related to the enigmatic Aleister Crowley. Coincidentally, around that same time, he was struggling with an addiction. Since then, a series of unexpected, inexplicable events have been his constant shadow. But the most alarming thing happened recently on June 5th, 2025. While Cello was at home busy washing the dishes, some strange noises alerted
Strange noises.
her from the hallway. The feeling of unease was so strong that she decided to start recording with her phone.
See, the thing is right, whenever you are going to be experiencing paranormal activity, you will pick up on that energy. You will use your extrasensory perceptions and you will know that something is about to take place. But, if you are that scared, you are that terrified, the first thing you do is you pick up your phone and you ring for help. You ring someone. The natural instinct isn't to pick up your phone and start recording. That isn't going to make you feel safe. So straight away, to me, that kind of doesn't make logical sense. Picture this, each and every one of you who are absolutely terrified. Put yourself in this position. You're hearing noises in your home. What's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to think it's a home intruder. Well, that would be logically, wouldn't it? What good is recording someone? You would be on, if they had said they called someone, then they started recording, I would be like, oh, well, that makes sense. But to just, in a dire state of emergency, to start recording, I suppose it is the year 2025, isn't it? You see things happening on the streets and stuff like that, and the first natural reaction of mankind is to pick up a phone and take selfies and that. You know, there's somebody seriously injured in the background and you've got people taking selfies. That's the world that we are living in. I get that. But this story, that doesn't make sense to me, why somebody would, in a heightened state of alertness, who is already sensing an energy that's making them uncomfortable, wouldn't phone for help. Some of you might say, well, they might not have anyone to ring for help. Well, I would argue and say it as an emergency services. If there is banging or there are noises that you don't know what they're coming from in your home, that would be your first natural instinct. Let me know down in the comment section what you would do. Maybe I'm being too harsh, but that would be me.
What she captured is frankly chilling.
We'll be the judge of that.
Okay, I'm so crazy, right? Here we go. Baby's terrified.
That to me sounds like somebody chopping on a wood board. Now we can't see the person's hands at this point.
Hold on.
Could this be raccoons? Could this be... Because I'm just looking at it from a different perspective. In the first instance, each and every one of us are programmed because of our lack of understanding when it comes to the spirit world. We are pre-programmed to think everything is paranormal. The problem is it's not paranormal until it's proved. And at this point, whilst yes, it could be scary to the homeowner, she's not running. She's not doing anything that would say to me she's in a state of distress. And whilst I'm not agreeing with this as being paranormal. Yeah, it might transpire that we get more evidence. But can the spirit world make noises and can the spirit world make bangs? 100%. I've captured it myself. You'll see it on any one of the paranormal videos on this channel. Go and check out the paranormal playlist. They do it for fun. But to me, does this person's tone, does this person recording themselves then using a phone, I'm sorry, it's just not adding up. This person, I've seen people who've had genuine fear from seeing spirits, who've had paranormal activity, and this person looks cool as a cucumber. So did you all see the door at the very, very far end? We'll rewind that back there. Oh, I've done something wrong there. Sorry, my apologies. Let's just go back slightly. Watch the door in the distance. Now, you'll probably notice there's like a little bit of light seeping through there in the top left quadrant. It looks like it's being pulled open. And then it's being closed. Now, we've got multiple different things taking place there. We've got banging, which doesn't, to me, sound like it's coming from that room anyway. It sounds like we've got banging, and then we've got a door that's opening and closing. I've got to be honest, it doesn't look like there's any airflow going through. There'll be airflow, but what I'm saying is it doesn't look like there's anything obvious. I can't see any items moving. One of the first things that you should do when you're trying to debunk something is think with the logic mind. Don't try to think as if you are there in that situation. Just think with the logical mind. First thing, is there airflow coming through there that we can see? Can we see curtains? Can we see objects moving from the airflow? Well, that's not. So that's ruled out. So that door open. Could it be somebody is actually in the room doing it? Well, 100% it could be that. We can't prove that, can we? Unless this camera gets taken into that room. But then, even then, what's to say that there isn't a mechanism set up in there? Honestly, mankind are very good at crafting and manipulating things to look paranormal. Why? Because by preying upon your insecurities and vulnerabilities from your lack of understanding when it comes into the paranormal field, it gets fear. When you have fear, it gets intrigue. When it gets intrigue, guess what? You're going to click like and you're going to watch even more footage. Some people are just destined to scare the living. Like, they love it. Like, I love working with the spirit world and realms and proving of the evidence and bringing forward evidence of the afterlife. And there'll be other people who just want to pretend that they can do that. Or they want to pretend that they've captured spirits. Or they want to pretend. And they're happy with that. They're fine. That's what their path is. Notice how the dog walked straight. So I'm going to let you all in on a little tip here. Dogs are hypersensitive when it comes to the spirit world. And I don't want to scare you because a lot of you might watch this video and you might have dogs. And you might often see your dog barking in the corner of the room. That's not because your dog's going crazy. That's because your dog's saying, look, can you not see this? Like, can you not see what's stood here? That dog paid no attention whatsoever to that room. It walked straight past into the room. In my experience, that dog would have went straight to the room. That's my opinion anyway. Interesting. So no aggressive reaction from the dog. A lot of the time when you have paranormal activity and you see a dog is sensing energy, what will happen is, oh, hang on, have I actually got that on there for you to see? What you will see is when the dog actually senses the energy, it's going to go straight to the area and then it's going to start barking. It's going to start alerting the humans. Maybe the dog doesn't even like the humans. That's maybe the dog's like, yeah, look, just take them.
I know you're okay, Pasta.
First, there were some banging sounds.
I've got a completely... No, there's nothing in there that was paranormal to me. I'm sorry if you're the person who
the end of the hallway started opening and closing by itself, over and over again.
Yeah, but we've got no evidence to support that was paranormal. That could have literally been anyone in there.
Her on alert was
Let's go to the next one.
With her camera.
So we just had a cupboard closed in there. In all fairness, right? In all fairness, this person may have not even known what cupboard had opened there. Because she doesn't look too fazed by it. That was pretty cool, wasn't it? Let's go back and watch that again.
She enters the kitchen, puts down a glass, and blows out a candle when suddenly a cabinet door swings.
But here's the question, right? Why was the camera recording there anyway? And why is the activity happening in that corner? Like, these are the things that you've got to ask yourself. And it's not that I'm a skeptical person. Listen, I work with the energy. I prove of it time and time again. But you've got to be skeptical in some cases. Why was the camera on in those moments? Why was it those cupboards that were in frame that it happened to? And I'm not saying for 1 minute that that was acted. Because yes, the spirit world may have just played up to the fact that the camera was on. But my question is why was the camera on? That's not a normal setting. You don't just put a camera on a roll when you're lighting a candle and having a drink. Maybe it was a remembrance. Maybe and that might have made sense. But there's no context to that yet. All we say is that the camera's on, somebody's blew out a candle, and then all of a sudden all of these, and you hear like noises coming through, which, again,
is open and slammed shut with incredible force.
I mean, that wasn't incredible force. I've seen incredible force. I've seen literally, for those of you who like the paranormal, I've had people on command pulled by their feet off chairs on command for me. I've had tables levitating onto 1 foot for me. That's incredible. What that was like literally just like, look, okay, we'll do this. If it was spirit, they were trying to get the attention at best. They weren't trying to scare.
Apparently on its own. At first, she seems to ignore it, but a few moments later, while the dishwasher's running, the cabinet opens again. Suddenly, this time even more violently, startled and scared to death, she runs out of the kitchen. What is opening those?
I mean, you would be scared, wouldn't you? Let's be completely honest. If you experienced that, the majority of people would be a little bit freaked out by it.
Doors?
Do I think it's paranormal? Again, I'm going to sit this one out. There's too many inconsistencies there. There's too many possibilities in engineering. It's like, for me, I just can't comprehend why the camera's already watching her. Like, I really can't.
Is it just faulty hinges or something much more sinister?
I mean, you could see the door was damaged there as well. Whether that's damage from the impact of open or if it was just already naturally broken.
Now let's travel back a few days to July 3rd, 2025 and meet Captain Casket, a man with a fascination that we could say is rather peculiar. He has been in this current house.
Well, I say he's peculiar, but I mean, look at me. I speak to the dead on a daily basis. People might say I'm a little bit peculiar, really.
For almost a year without any incidents, and he loves collecting strange objects and macabre ones, many of them coming from funeral homes with a clear connection to the deceased. One day,
right. So what we've got to understand here, right, is the comment that's just being made there that the items have a strong connection. The spirit world will be connected to certain items. For example, if you were to use psychometry, you could hold an item. For example, like this crystal ball, I've only owned it. It's like that's now mine. So when I'm passed over, if someone was to hold that, then they would channel my energy, or at least I'd be able to show them energy. There are many different things like lockets, watches, anything that is owned and solely owned and possessed by somebody. That being said, flowers and stuff like that, I mean, that's not really items owned by a person. It's not the everyday items owned by a person. So to take them from a funeral home, like personally, no, that's not items that are haunted. You don't get, fun fact, you don't get haunted items. Spirit world and the realms will go to specific items because they give off specific frequencies. And when you understand that the spirit world are already here among us, then it makes it a lot more sense that they don't need to be attached to items.
Friend brought him more of these unsettling curiosities, and just a few days later,
But again, don't forget power of suggestion. His friend's bringing him some oddities. Has his friend already told him, look, loads of weird things are happening with these because he's going to make more money off this person? Or could it be that this person's maybe it's just in that one mind, they don't have an understanding and they're just kind of going into some sort of internal dilemma, a dialogue which is causing them to become scared.
the atmosphere in his house changed.
There you go. So, is it because the atmosphere has changed because he is picking up on something, or is it because his friend said something to him and the power of seed of suggestion has been planted firmly? And now he's starting to believe that there is something wrong with these items. For there to be hundreds of different items coming into the home and no problems, and then these to come in, it's a bit odd, isn't it? It's a little bit odd, considering when, in their own words, they've got lots of oddities from a funeral home. I personally think that the friend or the person who's given them, which we're not going to know, or we're really, let's be completely fair, has given them a backstory, has sold them the idea that these are different to everything else that you've got. These are different because things are happening in my home. And before they've even gotten into this dude's house, he's already now terrified the living daylights out of himself. Of course things are going to start happening. You're going to start manifesting that. You're going to start wanting that to happen.
Drastically. While filming a video about these strange experiences, something was captured that would chill him to the bone.
He lived in this house for probably close to a year now, and I've never had something happened here. I've never once thought there was any kind of strange things happening or ghosts or anything like that until a couple weeks ago when I was given these like lab grade things like test tubes. And these are like a legit Pyrex brand, like super high quality glassware, right?
So,
it came from my birthday party at home. So the other day I was in my room and I started to hear like a clink, and I don't see any movement, but I hear it.
I mean, we can hear something there. But again, where's his hands? Like, why isn't the question being asked? Like, could this have been him generating that sound?
And it's like, obviously those. So I didn't think too much about it. And then a few days later, I started seeing little shadows.
A lot of you, when you start using clairvoyance, you will start to see shadows, by the way, and not to freak you out. But in the early stages of developing your clairvoyant abilities, you will start to see little floaters out the side of your eyes. Not to be confused with medical conditions, because there are some, don't want to scare you. But a lot of the time when you are beginning to use your clairvoyant abilities, you will see like little shadows out the corner. Again, you found this channel. You don't need to be scared of it. You don't need to worry about it.
On the south side of my vision, I peek over while watching television and wonder, what's going on here? I mean, like, my sleep has not been as good.
While Captain Casket was
I don't know if we've missed something there, but I mean,
talking about the paranormal activity, a dark figure moved behind his door, completely unnoticed by him.
right, we'll stop there. That's shadow. Can we say it's a shadow? Could we say that it could potentially be a coat on a coat hanger? Then when we go to a different angle, it's no longer there. 100% we can. I've captured black shadows on camera, which are irrefutable. You see them moving from side to side, right? It's not a shadow of a human being because there was no light to reflect it. This here is a solid mass, which is right behind the door. It'll be interesting to see if it moves when he's stationary or if it moves when the camera moves. If it moves when the camera moves, then that kind of concretes exactly where I'm coming from.
Soon after, he heard strange voices echoing through the house.
Has hecho muchas investigaciones
That wasn't a black shadow, mate. No doubt.
de fantasmas, electronic voice phenomenon, análisis. Sabes exactamente de lo que hablo cuando digo.
So I'm guessing what he's saying there is he's doing what's called EVP, electronic voice phenomenon. This is where you are going to communicate intelligently with the afterlife. They are going to use the equipment to be able to communicate with you in the moment.
Que esa es la calidad. That's the perfect example. The same one.
He showed that in that corner, there was no space to hang a jacket.
Well, that's what we said before. Yeah, that's exactly what I said before. That was the first thing that came to my mind. But why don't we, instead of just going straight away, all guns in and going, oh, well, it must be a spirit. Let's not rule out the possibility that could it have been a person? Could it have been somebody who's in on this? There are many different things. If it's spirit activity, believe me, the spirit world love being on camera. They love it. I've got footage where you'll look in the short section on this channel and you'll see when I asked the monk to come on camera, within seconds you see like a white mist in a face coming up past my camera lens. They love it. They adore being on camera. Why? Because it gives you categoric evidence of the afterlife. It's everything what they stand for. But can we accept this as being paranormal? A little bit of a black outline? No. The answer is no.
Nor for a person to stand, surrounded by
I'm sorry. I could stand behind there and I'm not the skinniest of people.
his macabre objects. A few days later, while painting...
See how you can manipulate a narrative by telling you, oh, you can't stand behind there, there's not enough room. Well, actually, hang on a minute. I bloody well could stand behind there. But people, because you've kind of eliminated what people are going to suspect, you've already combated it to make it look real. They've already come up with all of the logical things, like what I've said. Is it a court rack? Is it because they know people are going to dispute it?
He noticed a dark figure upstairs and decided to record it.
So he noticed a dark figure upstairs and he decided to record it. This is going to be interesting. I hope it's better than the dark figure downstairs. And I hope it's bloody paying rent. I can't see no figure there. If we're talking about the back of the room, it's very low light situation there. If something runs up and jumps out and it's a jump scare, I am going to freak.
Hello?
Please don't be a jump scare, because if you are a jump scare, I will jump. I'm not engrossed in it now. Right, so we've got the doors just open slightly there.
What the fuck?
I mean, that's cool, that. Could you imagine if this is paranormal activity, could you imagine that? Like, I'd love a home with that. Fun fact, I'll have my own church. I mean, that's
I
just
heard
open
noises where I saw the shadow, and as I approached, the door opened by itself. Captain Casket didn't...
I mean, I didn't see no shadow was there. And I don't want this, like, to just be a complete, like, there might be some genuine paranormal activity here, but not in this video. There's not one of the videos that we've seen so far where Spirit would be like, that's us. This here is not paranormal at all. Let's skip to the next video. That's disappointing.
This clip was recorded in a quiet house where the owner claims to hear strange music late at night. She says that the unsettling sound of a piano sometimes echoes through the house, even though no one is playing. Tonight she investigates.
I mean, that occurrence, a lot of you may experience that using clairaudience. Clairaudience is the ability of clear hearing. You will see and hear beyond the physical realm, and you will hear into the spirit world. If you live, for example, in a home that was once a bar, there would have been a lot of energy. There would have been a lot of people who went to that bar. There would have been a lot of spirits who like to do their favourite things in that bar. Therefore, it would make logical sense that you may hear sounds from that environment to which it once was. Could be the same here. Sorry, sometimes the energy gets really intense.
But things don't go as expected.
That's why I make funny faces. There's nothing medically wrong with us. Even doing these reaction videos, I work with spirit. We're like little besties, man. We work all the time. I mean, if there's any of you, right, which brings up a very valid point, if there's any of you who are experiencing paranormal activity, or you are experiencing anything here, you know where I am. Like, literally, I can help you. I can explain it to any one of you who try to remove energy from your homes, or you try to listen. It doesn't work. Energy's here and been here a lot longer than what we have. What you have to do is to gain a good understanding. Energy doesn't want to hurt you. Energy does not want to harm you. Energy does not want to take your soul. Energy is just doing its own thing in the background. However, you know, as we go along our materialistic existences, sometimes we cross energy. If it's the spirit world, then sometimes it's a little bit more pleasant. If it happens to be the realms, then sometimes a lot of you may pick up on it wrong. And I'll tell you the reason why. And for those of you who don't know, I'm speaking about demons here. I call them the realms because I have a very good understanding of them and I treat them as part of my family. When you come across the realms, it can become very discomforting because you are put into a very hostile position where you don't understand the energies that are around you and your body will react. Sometimes it feels like you are being pushed. Sometimes you come out in scratches. Not, however, because you are being physically maimed by the energy, but because your body is reacting in the only way that it knows it can. Just like when you have a heat rash. When you have a heat rash, your body reacts to that heat and you come out in a rash. No different to when you go into a highly active paranormal location. When you go into that location, guess what happens? Your body does what it is programmed to do. It reacts. It will come out in scratches. It will warn you to get out of that situation. Not because you're going to be harmed, but because you don't understand what that energy is. It's like that intuition. Oh, just leave. Ever went to go and meet someone that you've never met before and you've had a bad feeling about them, so you didn't go and meet them. Turned out they were an absolute horrible person. Exactly the same. See the synchronicities and similarities within the human form? It's very, very developed. That's awesome. Oh, I love it. It's getting her own music played to her. I'm not going to lie, that is absolutely awesome. If that is spirit communication and it's not a TV that's playing the music, if it's not a children's toy that's playing the music, if it's completely proven that there is no electronical item, there is no physical piano in there, there is nothing that could duplicate or replicate those sounds that are being made, and that is indeed spirit communication, that's beautiful. Just playing your music.
What happens?
We've got a TV on there. Could those sounds have been coming from the TV? So they do have a piano in there. So I think what they're trying to claim is the piano is playing on its own. But inside is spirit. Good fingers. Again. So that there was kind of cool, wasn't it? Let's be honest, we're in a dark room, which the setting's right. If they've just come down, there's a TV on, it's a dark room, I get it. But it is very difficult for us to make an informed decision on what we are seeing here, because before our very eyes, we've just heard a piano has been playing for no logical reason. And then all of a sudden, I don't know really what happened there. We're just seeing loads of things falling. I'm guessing the cupboard opened and the things fell out.
We hear the faint sound of a piano.
I wish it wouldn't do that. Bloody It's just, I'm like, oh, I forgot headphones in, man.
As she enters the room where she is, but there's no one there.
Make sure you subscribe
Confused,
to
she
the
heads to
best
the basement,
top 10
where the sound
YouTube
now
channel,
seems to come
each and every
from.
one of you.
But as she nears the piano, the music abruptly stops. Then, suddenly several objects in the room fall on their own, causing her to flee in terror.
Flee in terror. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't think I agree with that. Whilst I agree that it looked very awesome and it did look kind of spooky in that respect, can we say she fled in terror as she's still holding the phone and recording? I mean, I'm not being funny, right? I have a very good understanding with spirit, and even I sometimes get scared. Not because I'm scared of I'll get harmed or anything, but jump scares or when you don't expect something to happen, your body instinctively reacts. It doesn't stand there recording where it's just happened. You're out that bloody room faster than you can see a Roger Rabbit. You are gone. Like the Roadrunner. Beep, beep. You're not standing there filming still. You are out of there. So to me, that doesn't compute.
Subscribe and
That doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't.
like this video in 5 seconds. If you don't do it, this entity will come tonight.
That's absolutely terrifying. Don't be scaring my audience with that little. That's kind of cool, that though. I love stuff like that.
Story moves to a remote
when it
place.
comes to stuff like that, I love
On July 5th,
stuff like that. What a
2025,
clever
a
idea.
group of friends explored an abandoned silo at night. The silence was suddenly...
Which is a very good idea. Well, I mean, probably not going into the silo. I would imagine that took all the necessary precautions. But teaching every one of you who are wanting to do anything paranormal, never ever go alone. Not because the spirit world are going to harm you, or you're going to go missing, or they're going to steal your soul, or you're going to evaporate into thin air. But go in groups. If one of you get into difficulties, you may fall. You may need medical assistance. When you are going into places like silos, old hospitals, nurseries, all of these old style of building, they are constructed in a very different way. Phone signals are non-existent. I can tell you that by all of the different investigations I've done, all the different locations I've been. Make sure that you're always going around in groups.
broken by something that left them stunned.
And then if you do come across an evil spirit, you can throw them in it and then you've got time to run. I'm only joking. There is no such thing as evil spirits. There are just poor understandings and bad teachings. There are no such thing as evil spirits. And you should never throw your friends at them.
A girl's voice asking for
They're
help.
laughing at that one. They thought that was funny.
Huh?
For those of you who don't know, they refer to skinwalkers as being very different entities to spirits. And I don't technically go into that route because I see spirits and energy for what they are. I don't need to see the smoke screen that mankind have or have my ideology polluted by the notions and nonsensical thoughts of mankind. I don't need to conform to any of that. There's energy. That's it. Doesn't matter how your eyes perceive it, it's energy. I mean, at the minute we've found nothing.
It came from the dark depths of the place. It was a strangely calm voice saying she had lost her friends. The boys, with a hint of suspicion, asked her if she was a skin changer. She simply repeated in the same unchanging voice, "I lost my friends."
I didn't
It
hear
wasn't the
nothing.
desperate tone of someone truly trapped. Realizing that something wasn't right, they turned around and ran away from the place. Because of the silo's size and darkness, many think these places shelter imitators or skin changers. What do you
I
think?
mean, mankind have loads of different ideologies.
This
don't
next
they, but
video was
that
filmed
there
late
was
at
a bit
night
of
in a
waste of
quiet
the time.
yard. The owners say that they have often felt watched in this place, but this time the camera actually caught something strange.
Right. I mean, that there's probably the most paranormal that I've seen the entirety of this video. But is it moving with intelligence? And there was
At
a
first,
weird,
everything
there was a
seems
weird
very
thing
normal.
there
A
that you'll
single
notice,
chair
right?
remains still in the yard, but then, with no one nearby, the chair starts to slide forward by itself.
Watch when it falls over.
It feels like something is sitting in it and pushing it across the floor.
Nah, that doesn't look like spirit.
The following
Spirits-
investigation comes from the well.
And the reason why I say that, right, it's not to just be, no, it's not spirit, right? The reason why I say that was when spirit do something, they don't need to drag it. They would literally just lift it up. They would throw it if they wanted to. They don't need to drag it. It just didn't look
Well-known
right.
team led by Alberto Del Arco. They explored a place believed to have belonged to a witch. The locals claim that strange rituals used to be performed here, and that even today, eerie sounds and shadowy figures are reported inside.
I've got to be honest, out of all of the places that we've seen, this here, I can feel the energy in it. The energy is very intense in that location. I would love to go there.
Can't you see there's something in
I
the
can pretty much guarantee you what you are about to see
Trash
will
can.
be paranormal.
No, here.
No.
Here I go.
This isn't.
No, the plant isn't. No, but it's around here. It's around here. How curious. Oh man, I swear. I swear, I hope you have that, because I saw over there
I don't know what the...
a small person. I couldn't tell if it was a boy or girl. You
I
can
mean,
hear when.
I didn't see now, like...
And no, we're not ready for a push. We're not in any shape for a push. Honestly.
I mean, you probably shouldn't be, like, taunting spirit and that, like... I do like the cameras that they're using, though. I mean, I'm not too sure what cameras they are. I might have to look into getting one for
And
myself.
louder. Here the smell is even stronger.
Okay, what smells bad? What did you see here?
I didn't hear. I heard something from here.
Out of all of the places, this is going to be the place where
he's
they
like-
will get something.
Look, we can.
What they're using there is a device called, well, that'll actually be an application, which is effectively a spirit box. It'll be a word bank, and it'll be just throwing out words that are going to be relevant in those moments. The spirit world can manipulate many different facets of the device. They can use environmental factors. They can use many different parts. However, depending on what the app is, it depends on what functionality it's going to have and how it's going to operate. But that's in a nutshell how a word bank database would work. I don't know what it is that they're actually holding, but it looks something along them lines, the way that it's communicating. It's not a spirit box.
First, as he looks ahead, a dark, shadowy figure becomes clearly visible, and a loud, eerie
Well,
sound
I'm sorry,
echoes
I've seen clearly. That's not. I
in the
don't agree that
background.
that's clearly visible.
As he enters the empty classroom. Another
That's the problem with mankind. We deem everything to be paranormal. We want it so much to be paranormal. Therefore, we making allowances rather than it being factual in what we actually see. We go that one step further just to make it interesting. And
strange, unsettling noise is heard.
come on, throw the TV or something.
Yes, Sal, are we?
Where are they? And how many are there?
Are you still there? There he is. Go, there he is.
So that there, what you've just seen there is a REM pod. It looked like it was a REM pod that was set up with a mechanical device on the coffin, which would create music when anything come into its electromagnetic field and broke the circuit.
Thing to act like
Cold, right? Yeah. Does it feel really cold?
does it feel
You will get temperature fluctuations when you are having spirit communication, and it's not because you as a person are just feeling the cold. You can actually document cold and hot spikes
Feel cold
when
down here? Yeah, does it feel
communication has
cold?
taken
Does
place.
it feel okay, bad?
Are you here? Where is something falling? Does it feel really cold here?
Are you here with us?
A faint but clear whisper in the recorded audio suggests a terrifying.
And a lot of the time, you know, before we listen to this, a lot of the time when you are speaking in the moment and talking to one another, you might not hear it. A lot of the time, instead of using clairaudience, because you are so focused on what's happening in the moment in fight or flight sometimes, especially in a paranormal setting, you don't actually hear it. It's when you listen back on your audio equipment when you're like, whoa, the amount of times I've captured crazy stuff like in the middle of nowhere, and I've even got them on the shorts on this channel, so you can go and watch them. And I'll be in the middle of nowhere and you'll hear like gunshots, and then you'll hear Stephen Briggs. That was one of the most prevalent that I remember. And then there was another one where you hear a woman blood-curdling scream. It goes, ah, he shot me. And it's like, what? That's mental, man. It's crazy. But let's hear what they call
Nearby presence. When one of the team members asks a question out loud, the REMPOD device suddenly starts going off on its own.
REM pod.
With a little box?
Where is it coming from?
Listen, listen. Yes, she went crazy. She went crazy.
Oh, do you know what Beto is doing?
Why?
Is he blinking like that?
I don't know what they're referring to there.
Finally, while standing near the stairs, LREMPOD goes off again, reacting to something that can't be seen. A man recently shared a terrifying.
I mean, I was expecting more there because I could feel the energy, to be honest. I was expecting more. Well, we didn't really get much more, did we? I think what we're going to do is anyway, right, we're going to bring it to an end here for tonight. And if you did enjoy this, remember to let me know down in the comment section. Also, let me know if there's any scary videos that you've seen, and we'll revisit them at a later date. And stay tuned, because we're going to be doing many more of these for each and every one of you. Until the next time, bye-bye for now.